repeat after me at home. Nachamu, 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 Ami, Yomar Elohechem, Nachamu, 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 Ami, Yomar Elohechem. Comfort us in our wilderness. Comfort us as we struggle to take care of one another. Comfort us in our wilderness. Comfort us as we struggle with this world. Nachamu, 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 Ami, Yomar Elohechem, Nachamu, 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 Ami, Yomar Elohechem.
Cantor, thank you. What a beautiful way to bring us into Shabbat services, asking for comfort after this crazy week that we've all had. A unique week, I think, in American history that I know has affected me so deeply, and I know it's affected so many of you as well. So thank you. I'm in need of each of you tonight, and I imagine you are in need of services and solace as well. So we come together, and one of the ways we get that uplift each week is by celebrating with our B'nai Mitzvah family. And we're so thrilled that the Spielmans are here. And tomorrow, Sammy becomes a bat mitzvah. But I have to tell a story about the Spielmans first, which is that most people wait until their kids are born, maybe their kids are in nursery school, or they wait till their kids in 3rd grade before they join the temple. But Cindy and Jonathan joined the temple before even Andrew was born. And they have really been a part of our temple family for such a long time and so involved. So Sammy, you were literally born into Temple Beth Torah. And it is so exciting to see you take your place as the newest Jewish adult. So I'm going to spotlight the Spielmans, and we're all going to turn to page 120.
I'm going to miss that Sammy won't be dancing in the aisles. That was one of my favorite things about Shabbat services. And I know she's grown out of that and on to more adult dancing, but I still feel joy when I think about it, singing and seeing her dancing in the back of the sanctuary. Oh, hear my prayer, I sing to you. Be gracious to the ones I love, and bless them with goodness and mercy and peace. Oh, hear my prayer to you.
As these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we, by our lives, give light to all who behold us. As their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we, in our own day, be among those who kindle light.
Blessing.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kadishanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lahadnik ner shel Shabbat.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kadishanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Blessed are you, Adonai our God, sovereign of the universe, who hallows us with mitzvot, commanding us to kindle the lights of Shabbat.
Lovely. Let us light these lights and see the way to you, and let us say Amen. Let us light these lights and see the way to you, and let us say Amen.
Humans, we will unspotlight you, but you might want to take a look at the chat if you haven't yet. And we'll see you guys for the Kiddush in a little bit, and we'll mute you so you're safe. I'd like to start with a prayer that happens to be on page 193, but you don't necessarily need to turn there. May the one whose spirit is with us in every righteous deed be with all who work for the good of humanity and bear the burdens of others, and who give bread to the hungry, who clothe the naked, and take the friendless into their homes. May the work of their hands endure, and may the seed they sow bring abundant harvest. Page 138, Lecha Dodi, and we get to the last verse. We'll remind you to rise and to face peace. And if you haven't yet invited into your being your friends and family, invite them into this service with us, living and those who have passed. Who do you want here with you tonight to enrich your Shabbat experience?
Lecha Dodi, Lekrat Kala, LeShabbat, Lekavela, Lecha Dodi, Lekrat Kala, LeShabbat, Lekavela, Shamor Nezachut, Midibor Echad, Ishmianu, Elav Echad, Adonai Echad, Ushemo Echad, L'Shem U'Tiferet, Eli Tehila, Lecha Dodi, Lekrat Kala, B'nei Shabbat, Nekavela, Lecha Dodi, Lekrat Kala, B'nei Shabbat, Nekavela, Itoreri, Iva Orech, Kumi Uri, Shir Daveri, Kevod Adonai Elayik Nigla, Lecha Dodi, Lekrat Kala, B'nei Shabbat, Nekavela, Lecha Dodi, Lekrat Kala, B'nei Shabbat, Nekavela. Now we rise to greet the Sabbath bride. Boi v'shalom, Atzeret Bala, Gam b'simcha, Uv'salah, Tov Emunei, Am Segula, Boi Chala, Boi Chala. Lecha Dodi, Lekrat Kala, B'nei Shabbat, Nekavela, Lecha Dodi, Lekrat Kala, B'nei Shabbat, Nekavela.
We remain standing as we turn to page 146. We come to the Baruch Hu, the prayer which in effect says, God, Are you ready for us? God, we're ready for you.
Baruch hu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach leolam vaed.
Praise be Adonai, to whom our praise is due forever. Praise be Adonai, to whom our praise is due now and forever. We turn the page to 148 for the Ma'ariv Aravim.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bidvaro ma'ariv aravim. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bidvaro ma'ariv aravim.
This is an hour of change. Within it, we stand uncertain on the border of light. Shall we draw back or cross over? Where shall our hearts turn? Shall we draw back, my brother, my sister, or cross over? This is the hour of change, and within it, we stand quietly on the border of light. What lies before us? Shall we draw back, my brother, my sister, or cross over?
Baruch atah Adonai Hamariv Aravim. Baruch atah Adonai Hamariv Aravim.
We turn the page for Ahavat Olam.
Ahavat olam, Beit Yisrael, Amcha ahavta, Torah u'mitzvot, Hukim u'mishpatim, Otanu lemadta. Al kein Adonai Eloheinu, B'shogbeinu u'v'kumenu, Nasiach b'chukecha, ונשמח בדברי תורתך ובמצוותיך לעולם ועד, כי הם חיינו ואורך ימינו, ובהם נהגה יומם ולילה. ואהבת הקהל תסיר ממנו לעולמים. ברוך אתה אדוני, אוהב עמו ישראל. שמע ישראל, אדוני אלוהינו, אדוני אחד, ברוך שם כבוד מלכותו לעולם ועד.
Please be seated as we continue with the V'ahavta on page 154. And I challenge you on this Shabbat to think about what you can do a little bit differently tonight. We say pretty much the same prayers every single week. If we prayed several times a day, we might say them even more. But each time we say them, we have a chance for renewal, a chance to make them speak to us in a different way. So with each prayer, What word can you hear differently? What phrase can you say and feel it resonate in a different part of your body? Just now when we were doing the Shema, I always cover my eyes with my right hand. And just the way I was balanced, I covered with my left hand. And it felt different. And it made me stop and think. It made me just consider the space I was in, the place, and what the prayer was meaning to me. So what little things can you do to help you hear and feel and experience the prayers in new ways? Page 154. V'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha v'chol levavcha v'chol nafshecha v'chol meodecha v'hayu hadvarim ha'ela asher anochi mitzavcha hayom al levavecha v'shinantan levanecha v'dibarta bam v'shivtecha b'veitecha uvlechtecha v'derech u'shafbecha uvkumecha Ukshartam leot al yadecha, v'hayu latotafot bein einecha. Uktavtam al mezuzot beitecha, uvisharecha. Lema'an tizkaru v'asitem et kol mitzvotai, v'tem kedoshim le'elohechem. Ani Adonai Elohechem, asher hotzeti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim, liot lachem le'elohim. Ani Adonai Elohechem. And we turn to page 157. And as we enter the book of Exodus with Parshat Shemot, this reading on the top of the page takes us into Egypt and out of Egypt and into the book of Exodus. Standing on the parted shores of history, we still believe what we were taught before we ever stood at Sinai's foot, that wherever we go, it is eternally Egypt, that there is a better place, a promised land, that the winding way to that promise passes through the wilderness, that there is no way to get from here to there except by joining hands and marching together. Mi chamocha.
Oh, say
We turn the page 161. And as we read these words for the Hashkivenu, put them in the context of this week and in our nation. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Adonai, help us to walk with good companions, to live with hope in our hearts and eternity in our thoughts, that we may lie down in peace and rise up waiting to do your will. Baruch atah Adonai hapores sukat shalom aleinu v'al kol amo Yisrael v'al Yerushalayim. We turn the page for Vishamru.
Close enough. That was beautiful. Veshamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat ledorotam berit olam. Veshamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat ledorotam berit olam. Beini uvein b'nei Yisrael od hi le'olam, od hi le'olam. Veshamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat ledorotam berit olam. Ki sheshet yamim asa Adonai et ha-shamayim ve'et haaretz. Veshamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat ledorotam berit olam. Oops.
We turn to page 165. Pray as if everything depended on God. Act as if everything depended on you. We rise for the Amidah on page 166.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei avotenu v'imotenu Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak v'Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel v'Elohei Leah Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora El Elyon Gomer chasadim tovim v'konei hakol V'zocher chasdei avot v'imahot ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם, למען שמו באהבה. מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן, ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם בעזרת שרה. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיי הכל אתה רב להושיע. מכלכל חיים בחסד, מחיי הכל ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסירים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר. מי כמוך בעל גבורות, ומי דומה לך, מלך ממית ומחיה, ומצמיח ישועה, ונאמן אתה להחיות הכל. ברוך אתה אדוני, Michaye Hakol.
Ata kadosh v'shimcha kadosh u'kdoshim b'chol yom yehalelucha sela. Baruch ata Adonai ha'el hakadosh. Please be seated. And we continue on page 173. Disturb us, Adonai. Ruffle us from our complacency. Make us dissatisfied. Dissatisfied with the peace of ignorance, the quietude which arises from the shunning of horror, the defeat, the bitterness, and the poverty, physical and spiritual, of humans. Shock us, Adonai. Deny to us the false Shabbat, which gives us the delusions of satisfaction amid a world of war and hatred. Wake us, O God, and shake us from the sweet and sad poignancies rendered by half-forgotten melodies and rubric prayers of yesteryears. Make us know that the border of the sanctuary is not the border of the living, and the walls of your temples are not shelters from the winds of truth, justice, and reality. Disturb us, O God, and vex us. Let not your Shabbat be a day of torpor and slumber. Let it be a time to be stirred and spurred to action. Baruch atah Adonai Mikadesh HaShabbat. Ritzei, page 175.
Ritzei Adonai Eloheinu ve'amcha Yisrael. Ritzei Adonai Eloheinu ve'amcha Yisrael. Utefilatam, utefilatam, be'ahava tikaber. Utefilatam, utefilatam, be'ahava tikaber. Ritzei Adonai Eloheinu ve'amcha Yisrael. Ritzei Adonai Eloheinu ve'amcha Yisrael. Ratzon tamid avodat Yisrael amecha utehil ratzon tamid avodat Yisrael amecha. Ritzei Adonai Eloheinu ve'amcha Yisrael. Ritzei Adonai Eloheinu ve'amcha Yisrael. Ritzei. Sing with me. Adonai Eloheinu. I can see ya. Ve'amcha Yisrael. Ritzei Adonai Eloheinu ve'amcha Yisrael. Baruch atah Adonai leotecha levadecha ve'yira
And as that beautiful music permeates our soul, we turn now to our prayer of gratitude. What are you grateful for? What are you thankful for? What do you want to thank God for on this Shabbat? If you'd like to share it with us in the chat, we can all be inspired by one another. And if not, maybe the words of our prayer book will take you to a place of gratitude. Modim anachnu lach she'atahu Adonai Eloheinu ve'Elohei avotenu ve'imotenu le'olam va'ed. Tzor chayenu magen nishenu atahu l'dor v'dor. We acknowledge with thanks that you are Adonai, our God, and the God of our ancestors forever. You are the rock of our lives and the shield of our salvation in every generation. Let us thank you and praise you for our lives, which are in your hand, for our souls, which are in your care, for your miracles that we experience every day, and for your wondrous deeds and favors at every time of day, evening, morning, and noon. O good one, whose precious mercies never end. O compassionate one, whose kindness never fails. We forever put our hope in you. For all these things, O sovereign, let your name be forever praised and blessed. O God, our Redeemer and Helper, let all who live affirm you and praise your name. In truth, blessed are you, Adonai. Your name is goodness, and you are worthy of thanksgiving. Baruch atah Adonai hatosh shimcha lecha na'eh lehodot. And together with the cantor, we pray for peace.
Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Ki atahu melech Adon lechol hashalom. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Tasim Leolam. Tasim.
And as we enter our silent prayer with that idea of peace being in the forefront of our thoughts, I share an English interpretation that's usually connected with the Aleinu. but it'll take us into our silent prayer tonight. Let the time not be distant, O God, when all shall turn to you in love, when corruption and evil shall give way to integrity and goodness, when superstition shall no longer enslave the mind, nor idolatry blind the eye. O may all created in your image become one in spirit and one in friendship, forever united in your service. Then shall your realm be established on earth and the word of your prophet fulfilled. Adonai will reign forever and ever.
Freedom's held hostage by hatred and fear, crying a desperate cry. Who will come running? Which ones will hear? Which ones will turn and deny? Mercy's been challenged by a dangerous sword, held by an angry hand. Who will go save her? Who will strike a chord, proclaiming throughout the land? Rally the angels, there's work to be done. Go sound the trumpets, come all, come one. Justice is calling that we lead the way, and history will ask what we did on this day. Goodness is begging that we listen close, rise to an ancient call that asks us to stand up against all her foes and fight until each of them falls. Rally the angels, there's work to be done. Go sound the trumpets, come all, come one. Justice is calling that we lead the way, and history will ask what we did on this day. No time for silence, no time to wait, no time to gamble humanity's fate. Rally the angels, there's work to be done. Go sound the trumpets, come all, come one. Justice is calling that we lead the way, and history will ask, history will ask. Rally the angels, there's work to be done. Go sound the trumpets, come all, come one. Justice is calling that we lead the way, and history will ask what we did on this day. History will ask what we did on this day. History will ask what we did.
What a beautiful choice. Thank you. That's by our wonderful musician, Beth Schaefer. And Cantor, you just did the most beautiful rendition of it. So thank you. My father-in-law told me a joke this week. What did the bartender say when the Jew and the black walked into the bar? Hello, senators. I like that one. This has been one of the craziest weeks in modern U.S. history. Tuesday morning, we woke up to an historic race in Georgia. Whether it went the way you had hoped it would or not, it was certainly monumental. Followed by a mob storming the Capitol building and senators and Congress people hiding under desks and benches. I can only imagine the fear they must have felt. By the time I watched the news, we knew they were okay, but wow, that must have been scary. And then followed by a session of Congress that went on into the middle of the night, in which both Republicans and Democrats spoke from their hearts, and so many made me proud to be an American. It was a session in which we were reminded of the historical significance of a peaceful transfer of power and how many times it's been this close, this close. It was a session in which people, politicians, were able to put aside their political agendas and help us work toward a more unified country. It was a week in which inner courage was needed to help us create justice. This week's Torah portion, Shemot, is uncannily prescient. We have a Pharaoh who, I quote, says, "The Israelite people, those foreigners," he's implying, "have become too numerous for us. Let us deal shrewdly with them so they do not increase." He creates a plan to have all the firstborn Hebrew baby boys killed. But that doesn't happen. We see brave activism and compassion at work. First, Shifra and Puah, the midwives who are named in this parsha, they see a violation of human rights. They feel it is wrong to kill the Hebrew babies. They see the humanity in these babies. So they lie to Pharaoh. They stand up to an authoritarian figure. They stand up to the king, Pharaoh, who's like God. They stand up and listen to their hearts. They tell a lie. The Hebrew women are too vigorous. And by the time we get there, they've already given birth. And it's too late for us to stop them. They bravely stand up and they do what they feel is right and necessary. They do it from a place of compassion. They see the Israelites as human beings. They've been birthing their babies, an intimate, personal, connective moment, a bonding act. They see the humanity of individuals, not the terror of a group. Then we have Yocheved and Miriam. They too take matters into their own hands. Yocheved is Moses' mother and Miriam his sister. After he's born, they hide him for 3 months. And then they put their son and brother in a basket. It's called a teva. And the only other time that word is used is when we have Noah's Ark. It's a rudderless boat, a rudderless basket. They take this leap of faith, of bravery and courage to save their child. They put him in a basket and have faith that he'll end up where he's supposed to end up. Miriam follows the teva and safeguards it. In some ways, we think she's old, but in other midrashim, we learn she was 8. An 8-year-old helped save our people. Because she follows that teva, because she follows her baby brother, she then witnesses Bat Paro or Bat Ya, Pharaoh's daughter. She witnesses her take the baby from the water and say, "He must be a Hebrew child." Pharaoh's daughter doesn't adopt him thinking he's an Egyptian. She knows what she's getting into. She takes a courageous step. She stands up to her father, the Pharaoh, defies the law of the land. She shows courage. In Eitz Chaim, a wonderful Torah commentary, they cite a commentator who says that Pharaoh's daughter went along with Pharaoh's policies until she saw the endangered Hebrew child. She saw She connected. Until that moment, the Israelites had been an abstraction that she could hold at arm's length. And she was prepared to believe the worst about them. Once she encountered an innocent, vulnerable Israelite, a baby, then she had to recognize her common humanity with all Israelites. What bravery, what courage from that place of compassion. And then we see even more courage from Miriam. She steps forward and speaks to Pharaoh's daughter. That must have been petrifying. She shares a plan. She knows a nursemaid who can take care of the child until he's old enough to be weaned. Moses is born in a place, out of this place of courage and strength. He learns from everyone around him to do what is right and to act with compassion. The first thing Moses ever does in the Torah, besides being born, and that doesn't generally count, is he stops an Egyptian taskmaster from beating a Hebrew slave. His first action is to stop an injustice. This is our heritage. Rabbi Mary Zamori writes, in each of these cases, the person acted according to the moral compass embedded in the human spirit, part of God's creation. This is who we are as Jews, people who stand up to injustice and take risks. We have Jewish and non-Jewish role models in our Torah who remind us of this over and over again. This week reminded us once again that we need to stand up and safeguard our institutions. Timothy Snyder, Yale University Levine Professor of History, points out that we need to protect our institutions. Whether they be the library, the synagogue, a charity that does work, that touches our souls, that we just feel so strongly is right, or our government, we need to protect them. Institutions do not protect themselves. Institutions are made up of people who have strong feelings, who have an idea, who see a vision, who see a better tomorrow. And that's what we have to safeguard. You need to get involved. You need to protect the things that you care about. Getting involved in politics might not be your thing, so start on a local level and protect groups that have common interests with you, that protect your values. One of the scariest things I learned this week was that some of the people who were attacking the Capitol were wearing blatantly anti-Semitic clothing. This seems to be common among some of the neo-Nazi groups. One was a t-shirt that said 6MWE. Now, I never heard this before. Do you know what it stands for? 6 million wasn't enough. Horror. Horror. How could people think that? How could people say that? How could people put that on a t-shirt? Just an atrocity. And there were other people who were wearing hoodies that said Camp Auschwitz. This is a hate that we need to stand up to, and we need to stand up against it every day. Logic isn't going to help. But compassion, friendship, listening, connecting just might. There are stories of neo-Nazis who have learned about the Jews, have become friends with Jews, and then become allies. I can cite at least 4 different people who I've heard speak. I know 4 isn't that big a number, but to go from that level of hate and rhetoric and mistrust and degradation to being an ally, wow. If that can happen, anything can happen. So we have to keep working to befriend people who are different from us and cultivate allies. And of course, we need to be an ally in return. Think of the midwives and of that encounter with Pharaoh's daughter. Think of the courage that they found to stand up when they knew something was right. We have to listen carefully to what is being said and call out lies on all sides whenever we hear them. And we can't stop calling them out until people understand the truth. And there is a truth. Truth is not subjective. We need the strength to do these things. They're hard. And our Parsha gives us a glimpse of where to find that strength. In addition to the strong role models, we also have a mysterious encounter with God at the burning bush. A God who reveals a new aspect of God's essence by revealing a new name. What's that name? Ehyeh Asher Ehyeh. That's a strange name. It's 3 words. It's not really a noun. Most names are nouns. I am who I am. I will be what I will be. We don't know the exact meaning, but we know it's a combination of a state of being and an action, a becoming. That's what Ehyeh Asher Ehyeh. God is a verb, a doing. That's the God we need to emulate. As we strive to become the best of who we can be and create the best world possible for all of us to live in for a long, long time, we need to find that inner strength, that inner courage. We need to believe that life is worth living and that creating a fair and just society is worth the struggle. So let's take God's new name, Ehyeh Asher Ehyeh. I will be what I will be. I am what I am. And partner with God. And together, let us become that brighter future. Ken Yehi Ratzon. May it be God's will. We turn to page 586 as we pray together for this brighter future, as we rise for Aleinu.
Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורר עלינו ככל המונם. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו
We turn to the Mourner's Kaddish on page 598. And unfortunately, we've had a lot of loss this week. We're in a period of aninut for Stacy Delia, cousin of Steve Shlansky, and for Rabbi Yehuda Kelamar of Young Israel of West Hempstead. We're in the week of mourning for William Bill Silver, father of Jay Silver, Ari Elberg, brother of Adam Elberg, Barbara Bobby Green, cousin of Eric Dinnerman, and the period of Shloshim, the month of mourning, for Suzanne Katz, friend of Maxine Atkins, Scott Zegans, father of Joshua and Andrew Zegans, Seymour Joel Scheinkoff, father of Paul Scheinkoff, and Holmes Halleck, father of Lee Carmen. And we also remember with great love those whose yurtzites have fallen at this season: Beverly Arnold, Nathaniel Axelrod, Helen Barkin, Joel Bernstein, Samuel Bigman, Les Kotler, Shirley Eichner, Lester Friedenberg, Esther Joseph, Mark Kaplan, Beverly Kent, Lawrence Kurland, Abraham Kurtz, Barry Lieben, Jack Leibowitz, Irving Lindy, Francine Lipnick, Jack Murphy, Ruth Pachtman, Celia Peskowitz, Irving Posnick, Anita Rader, Isidore Rashbaum, David Safran, Sydney Schiff, Pearl Wasserspring, Francis Witt, Leonard Witt. Is there anyone else you're saying Kaddish for tonight that you'd like to say their name out loud? We join together on page 598. Marvin Nadler and Aaron Brifton and June Higgins. Yitzkadal v'yitkadash shemei rabah, v'yalma divrach yirutei v'yamlich malchutei, v'chayechon v'yomechon v'chayei d'chol beit Yisrael, b'galav v'zman kariv v'imru, Amen. Yehei shmei rabah mivorach le'olam omei omaya, yitbarak v'yishtabak v'yipa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitalev v'yitalel, shmei d'kudashah baruch hu. Leila min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, damiran b'yalma v'imru. Amen. Yehei shlomo rabba min shamaya, v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. May the source of peace send peace to all who mourn, and comfort to all who are bereaved, and let us say, Amen. We remain standing as we turn to page 123, 124, and we invite the Spielmans back to honor us with the Shabbat Kiddush. And going to spotlight you guys again.
The heaven and the earth were finished, and all their array. On the seventh day, God finished the work that God had been doing. And God created on the seventh day from all the work that he had done. And God blessed the seventh day and declared it holy, because on it God ceased from all the work of creation that God had done.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu b'shabbat kodsho v'ahava uvratzon hinhilanu zikaron l'maaseh bereshit ki hu yom tehila lemikra etz kodesh zeh litziat Mitzrayim kivanu v'harta ve'otanu kidashta mikol ha'amim v'shabbat kodsheha ve'ahava uvratzon hinhaltanu Baruch atah Adonai Mekadesh HaShabbat.
Amen.
Amen, amen. And we're so excited about tomorrow. And right now, I'd like to ask Dr. Brian Goldstein, our vice president. I'm going to spotlight him too, to share a few words.
Oh, Sammy, it is truly my privilege and honor to be the representative giving you your gifts on this special occasion. We've known each other for a long, long time. In fact, we share many similar traits, most of which are our beautiful hair and our killer dance moves. And so, to your gifts, the Kiddush cup that you just used, a gift from the Brotherhood and Sisterhood. Hopefully you'll use that in many mitzvahs down the road. Kind of has a look of like a dance trophy. Your certificate of bat mitzvah, which you will get. You should proudly display that somewhere in the house. don't think of that as an end. It's sort of a transition of sorts. And maybe you can join us, Confirmation and Beyond, set up a dance group. We need your talents. We need you still at Temple. There's also a 1-year membership for the Suffolk JCC. It is open now, and hopefully over time becomes more open. You can take advantage of what they have to offer there. There's also a gift certificate from North American Federation of Temple Youth towards a trip to Israel. And one day pandemic will ease, and hopefully you can take advantage of that as well. Sammy, you are a star. This is your weekend to shine. Mwah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Brian.
Thank you. And we are really looking forward to tomorrow. Now we turn to our prayers of healing. On page 371. We offer prayers of healing for Vinnie DeRubio, James Trapani, Gladys and Seymour London, the family of Mark Kleinman, Doreen Penchik, mother of Cindy Kaplan, Sally Rabin, mother of half the people on the call, and Poppy Joel's wife, Linda and David Jablon, parents of Jen Stroh, who are getting a little better there, Russ Tisman, Shimon Label, Ben Nachum, friend of Vanessa Newman, Bonnie Levenstein, Betty Morell, mother of Jen Fusco, Phyllis Belford, my aunt, Jonathan Dillon Mossberg, Daniel Siegel, father of Chris Siegel, Joshua Goodman, grandson of Rhoda and Don Craigsman, Ruth Mossberg, another aunt. And who else are we praying for today? You can look in the Mickey Plass, Christine Joseph and Stephanie Werner, Jean Chapnick and Joel Fishkin, Ann Fisher, Karen Adler, Ariana Stern, Rich Goldberg, Bob Horowitz, Barbara Catano, Betty Catano, Mark Singer, Mark Citron, Alexandra Berg, Olga Leisman, Mike DeFisi, Scott Bloom, Hendrik Lundquist, and Gus Arenkus. And I know there's more people that you're holding in your hearts right now, so continue to hold all those we've named, all those you're thinking of in our hearts. We offer prayers tonight, healing prayers for our nation and to those of the families that died, and healing prayers for all who are sick with COVID. Herman Krasinski as well. And together we pray.
Mishebeirach Avoteinu Mikor Bracha Leimotenu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Mishebeirach imotenu Mikor Bracha Lavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
Amen v'amen, a refuah shlema, a complete and speedy healing. So I am going to go to gallery view so we can celebrate together. So if you don't want to be on Facebook, just turn your video off. Oh, we have so many birthdays. Let's see. David Haber's birthday was a few days ago.
It was?
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, I'm in trouble.
How many days behind are you? It was the 4th.
Oh.
Vanessa Newman's birthday is tomorrow, as is Judy Roth and Ruth Breutman. I don't think the Mantons are on. We have like a lot of birthdays tomorrow. So happy birthday. And Fritzy Bear, Ken's mom, it'll be her 92nd birthday tomorrow. Then on Sunday, we have Maggie Farkas's birthday. I don't know if Maggie's on, but we wish her a happy birthday. And Fanny Spielman's birthday will be in a week or so. So we will celebrate her tomorrow. And I didn't see any anniversaries on the anniversary list or, oh, Linda Arnberg, are we going to get you before your birthday? We'll wish you happy birthday now. We might get you next week too.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Can't get too many birthday blessings. And do we have any other special events, happy occasions, good news? All right, well, we just need a wonderful, we could actually do Yom Haledet Sameach. They were all birthdays.
Sure, that would be fun. Yom Huledet Sameach, Yom Huledet Sameach, Yom Huledet Sameach, Yom Huledet Sameach, and many more.
That was a very Marilyn Monroe-esque. How wonderful. It has been such a joy to be with all of you tonight. Stay on for a moment so Brian can share with us some of the upcoming events. We're getting busy. We had a little bit of a slower time with the vacation. And I think it's Brian's going to share as opposed to Vanessa.
Yes.
Okay, there you are.
Yes. Well, Shabbat Shalom, everybody, and Mazel Tov on all the birthdays. And again, Mazel Tov to the Spielmans, Sammy, and her mishpacha. It's going to be a wonderful weekend. Thank you so much, Rabbi, for your inspirational words, and Cantor for the beautiful voice. It's nice to shed something positive out of what's been going on lately. And as a public service announcement to everybody, anybody that gets a chance, please take advantage of the vaccine when you are given the opportunity. My arm, I got it last week. My arm was killing me for about a day or two, but I was very proud and happy to get it. If you have any questions about it and you're concerned, then I'm happy to talk to you. You can reach out to me. So as far as announcements, there is a lot going on, as Rabbi said. Starts with this Sunday, the 10th, 11 a.m., a support group dealing with stress. Very pertinent right now. At 12 o'clock, there's confirmation class. Also at 12 o'clock, a 7th grade Holocaust virtual trip. And at 2 p.m., budding friendships. Monday,
the virtual trip is just to the Holocaust Museum.
To the virtual trip to the Holocaust Museum for the 7th graders. Monday, the 11th, 7 p.m., a 6th grade Chavra, and 8 p.m. is a fundraising meeting. On Tuesday, the 12th, 10 a.m. Jewish Tangents, and 8 p.m. an adult B'nai Mitzvah class. Rabbi, we have a few people in that?
We have a wonderful class. Yeah, well, they're in the 2nd year. So if you're thinking about it, you should wait till next year to join up.
All right. Look forward to seeing them complete the process. Wednesday, January 13th at 6 p.m., a ritual committee meeting led by me. 7:30 p.m. Brotherhood virtual golf lesson with our own golf pro Bill Milgram, and it is open to everybody. Thursday, January 14th at 7:30. This is an important presentation. Anybody that's interested, please join us as we go over the results of the URJ benchmark survey that we did last year, plus our listening campaign that was completed also over a year or so, and an update on our commitment to giving. It's jam-packed. There's a lot in there, but I think you'll be pleased with some of the results, and it gives us direction going forward. So important meeting. Please join us. That's again on Thursday the 14th at 7:30. Next Friday the 15th at 10:15 a.m. is Torah Yoga, and then Martin Luther King Shabbat. We will be joined virtually by our friends at the City of Oasis that we've been working with for now, how many years, Cantor? 6 years?
You're muted, Cantor. 5 or 6, yeah.
It's either 5 or 6.
I'm going to go with 6.
Let's go with 6.
It's been an ongoing relationship. Sunday, January 17th at 10 a.m., a walk and talk group. And at 11 a.m., a virtual tour of Majorca, the secret Jews of Majorca.
Majorca.
Of
It's
Majorca.
one of those fancy J's that's like a Y.
It's part of I think this is part of a series of a few virtual tours, I believe. Yes?
Right. And then Donnie Rothstein will be walking with a GoPro and giving us the tour of, like, it's a special for Temple Beth Torah. It's not pre-recorded. So we do ask you sign up, and it's $36 for the series.
Great. And at 4 p.m., Abraham's Table of Long Island, a virtual Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. celebration and concert on YouTube. Check emails for the access to that. Monday, January 18th is Martin Luther King Day. The building will be closed, but at 7 p.m. there's a schmooze group led by our Rabbi Moskowitz.
Well, it's interviewing me, schmoozing with me. So.
Schmoozing with our rabbi on Zoom. Wednesday, January 20th, we have an adept speaker. Now, this is on Inauguration Day. How appropriate. We're going to have a speaker, Howard Ehrlich, talking about special stories of presidential elections and inaugurations. Friday, January 22nd is a Tat Shabbat at 5:30. Saturday, February 13th is a virtual art auction. There is a lot going on at Temple. You have to be able to find something in there that interests you. But join us again for January 14th when we present some of those studies. Again, Shabbat Shalom. Thank you, clergy.
Thank you. And we'll see anybody who wants to tomorrow morning at 9 for Torah study as well. And Cantor picked a wonderful song to help lead us into positivity.
This world from love. I will build this world from love. And you must build this world from love. You must build this world from love. And if we build this
Eloheinu v'Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu, our God and God of our mothers and our fathers. Please continue to show us your many faces and let us become with you as we create a better world. And let us say, Amen and Shabbat Shalom.